Superman is considered to be one of the most popular and recognizable superheroes of all time. The first Superman comic came out in 1938. Since then, Superman has appeared in numerous TV shows and movies. Today, we will be flying through the super history of Superman. But before I get started, remember to like and subscribe. One of the first notable adaptations of Superman came from the 1950s show Adventures of Superman. At this time in American history, televisions were just beginning to make their way into every household. By the mid-1950s, more than half of Americans owned a TV. This show ran from 1952 to 1956, with a total of 104 episodes. Many people loved this show, especially George Reeves' performance as Superman. A neat fact about this show is when the series was filmed in black and white during its first 2 seasons, George Reeves wore a brown for red, gray for blue, and white for yellow costume. When the show began filming in color in 1954, he switched to the trademark red and blue suit. George Reeves passed away under mysterious circumstances on June 16, 1959, at the age of 45. If you were to ask fans who their favorite Superman actor was, many would say Christopher Reeve. Superman the movie flew into theaters on December 15, 1978, and was a huge box office success. It was the second highest grossing movie of 1978 in America. To fans, Christopher Reeve portrayed Clark Kent/Superman perfectly, but he was regarded as a very kind man off the set as well, even after his accident in 1995, which left him paralyzed. A cool fact about this movie is in order to play Superman convincingly, Christopher Reeve underwent an intense bodybuilding regime, which was under the supervision of David Prowse, the man in the Darth Vader costume in the original Star Wars movies. Christopher passed away in 2004 at the age of 52 due to sepsis. Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman was an ABC television show that ran from 1993 to 1997 with a total of 88 episodes, with Dean Cain as Superman and Terry Hatcher as Lois Lane. Many people were fans of the show, mainly praising the great chemistry between Dean and Terry. Here's something you may not know about this show. Clark's favorite football team in the show is the Buffalo Bills, because actor Dean Cain played for the Buffalo Bills until he got injured and had to quit football. For many 90s kids, Superman the Animated Series was a show they looked forward to every week. The show ran from 1996 to 2000 with a total of 54 episodes. Many praise its writing, voice acting, and maturity. Here's a super neat fact about the show. The voice acting performance for Lex Luthor was perfectly executed by Clancy Brown, but to add a more sinister look to Lex's character, he was modeled after Telly Savalas' Ernst Stavro Blofeld from the movie On Her Majesty's Service. This gave Lex a James Bond villain look. The CW television show Smallville was a huge hit in the 2000s, running from 2001 to 2011, amassing 218 episodes. This show was nominated for several Emmys and took home 3 Emmys for Outstanding Visual Effects and Outstanding Sound Editing. Many people loved the performances of Tom Welling as Superman and Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor. Here's something you may not know about this show. According to DVD commentary, Tom Welling was known to wander around the set muttering under his breath, "Clark is an idiot. He is such an idiot." Superman Returns is a movie that flew under the radar, not being as popular as most of the Superman adaptations. This 2006 adaptation was met with mixed reviews, with fans liking the performances and nostalgic feel of the movie, but critiquing the movie's story and pace as boring. One interesting fact about this movie is, the last line of Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, is Superman saying to Lex Luthor,
"See you in 20.
That scene was filmed in 1986. Coincidentally, 20 years later, this film was released. Man of Steel was a juggernaut of a movie. Hitting theaters in 2013, it brought in $670 million at the box office, making it the highest grossing solo Superman movie ever. Many fans fell in love instantly with Henry Cavill as Superman. This adaptation brought a darker tone to the iconic character and was incredibly cinematic thanks to director Zack Snyder. A unique fact about this movie is, Henry Cavill insisted that his version of Superman have a hairy chest. He wanted to challenge the notion that muscular men need to have hairless chests. He used the Death of Superman comic storyline to support his claim, and the producers let him keep his manly chest hair. Justice League was released in 2017 and was met with tons of negative reviews, mainly focusing on the terrible CGI used on Henry's face and the design for Steppenwolf. The outcry against this rather terrible film was heard around the globe and launched the campaign #RestoreTheSnyderverse. In response to the high demand by fans, Justice League: The Snyder Cut was released in 2021 in theaters and on HBO Max. This cut of the Justice League was met with very positive reviews. This movie included loads of unseen footage, which all added up to a whopping 4 hours of runtime. Here's a cool fact about the movie. For the original production, Snyder revealed that he had intended for Superman to have a mullet haircut, like his comics counterpart Resurrection, and a beard when returning in the black suit. He wasn't allowed to do it, and even recalled that, unlike the blue suit that could be darkened fairly easily, it would have been much more difficult to modify Henry Cavill's face, referring to the reverse process with the infamous CGI face of the theatrical version. The hit show Lois and Superman was released on HBO Max in 2021 and ran for 4 seasons, with a total of 53 episodes. Many people praised the relationship and family dynamic between Lois and Superman and found it very relatable. Here's a neat fact about the show. The pilot episode pays homage to DC's Action Comics #1, which was Superman's debut, by depicting the hero's original Golden Age costume for the first time in live action. The famous green car from the cover is also featured. And lastly, the highly debated James Gunn adaptation, Superman, which hits theaters on July 11th. This movie has a lot riding on it, and people have been very vocal on how they feel about this movie. You have die-hard James Gunn fans who are super excited for this movie. Then you have those who are cautiously optimistic and hope James continues his incredible track run with superhero movies. And then you have Snyder bots who want to see this movie crash and burn, mainly because David Cornsweet has replaced Henry Cavill as Superman and is viewed as the Temu Superman. July will be crazy. Here's a wholesome fact about this movie. Director James Gunn tweeted that the death of his father was an influence on the screenplay. The film's release date, July 11th, 2025, was his father's birthday. Well, there it is, the super history of Superman. I hope you learned something new. Remember to like and subscribe. See you soon.